I understand wanting to be famous, and I understand building yourself, and I understand wanting to be a boxer as well, and being a professional. But at some point, someone has to be guiding this kid's career.
I think it's good because what happened there is other people who never watch boxing, or they don't know anything about boxing. They wanna watch Jake Paul because he's coming from he bring fans from other world.
Many boxers hold a critical view of Jake Paul, the YouTube sensation turned self-proclaimed boxer. While he's been cashing in on pay-per-view events and making headlines for stepping into the ring with so-called real fighters, seasoned professionals in the sport have been left shaking their heads, questioning where the respect for boxing has gone. These are the veterans of the sport, the ones who have spent years sweating, bleeding, and sacrificing to earn their place in the ring. Take Mike Tyson, for example, who dismissively remarked, "Jake Paul's been fighting YouTubers. He's a joke." For many, Paul's massive social media following and ability to sell out events mean little when it comes to the essence of boxing. To these fighters, he's merely a publicity stunt, a newcomer exploiting a sport he barely understands. And they haven't been shy about calling him out for it.
All been fighting YouTubers.
Yeah.
It's a joke.
Professional boxer Rolando Raleigh Romero has become known for his outspoken personality and bold reactions, particularly when it comes to Jake Paul, the social media star turned boxer. The two have exchanged words in the past, with Romero frequently sharing his unfiltered thoughts on Paul's boxing career and trash talk.
I don't know who else is on YouTube boxing, but Jake Paul's by far number one.
I guess Gaethje's gonna fight Floyd Mayweather.
I don't pay attention to shit celebrities do. That's a waste of my damn time. My time is too valuable, and I like giving it to my fans.
In interviews and on social media, Rolando Raleigh Romero has been outspoken about Jake Paul, often dismissing him as a legitimate boxer and ridiculing his skills. Known for his brash attitude, Romero has criticized Paul's rise in boxing, questioning his credibility and mocking his choice of opponents. Jake Paul, in turn, has fired back with his own taunts, fueling an ongoing back and forth between the two. If there's a specific moment or recent exchange you're referring to, let me know, and I can provide more details.
He's marketable, and he put in the work, man. He's gonna get an opportunity.
Kamaru Usman has made it clear that he's more eager to take on Jake Paul than face Conor McGregor. The UFC powerhouse, known for his dominant wrestling and striking, views Jake Paul's rise in boxing as more of a publicity stunt than a demonstration of genuine skill. Unimpressed by Paul's trash talk, Usman sees the matchup as an opportunity to silence the brash influencer once and for all. For Usman, a fight with Jake Paul isn't just about entertainment, it's personal. He wants to prove that social media antics can't substitute for real fighting talent, while a bout with McGregor would carry its own allure and legacy. Usman is far more fired up about confronting Paul. For him, it's a chance to remind everyone why true fighters are at the top and expose Paul's rise for what it really is.
I mean, it was great. I think it was great for it's great for Jake Paul, because now we're having to sit here and have another conversation about him.
Evander Holyfield has a clear warning for Jake Paul. Don't step into the ring with Mike Tyson. In a recent interview, Holyfield, who famously defeated Tyson in their 1996 bout after facing him twice, advised Paul to avoid challenging the former heavyweight champion. Drawing from his own experience, Holyfield highlighted the danger Tyson still poses, even at this stage in his life. Despite no longer being in his prime, Tyson's unmatched power and wealth of experience make him a formidable opponent, something Paul, with his limited boxing background, might not fully understand.
I don't know how much confidence that Jake Paul have in all this, but you know he's gonna be a lot quicker. And if he stay close to Mike, then his chance of winning gonna be great.
Holyfield's comments come in response to Jake Paul's recent remarks about potentially facing Mike Tyson. While Paul has made a name for himself by taking on opponents with limited boxing experience, Holyfield believes Tyson is a challenge Paul wouldn't want to face. As for Holyfield's perspective on Paul's career, he has been openly critical of the YouTuber turned boxer, especially following Paul's recent victories. Holyfield attributes Paul's continued success in the ring more to strategic timing and carefully selected matchups than to genuine boxing skill.
See Mike winning, or do you see Jake winning?
I don't know. It's all depending on how Jake fight. You know, I tell you what, it's cause somebody gonna tell me it's too crazy to be trying to get close to the guy. He gonna stay like that. Mike like he get in and he curve up like this and snap out and get you.
Shakur Stevenson recently shared his thoughts on the Jake Paul versus Anderson Silva fight, and he didn't hold back. Known for his sharp wit and precision in the ring, Stevenson found the entire event laughable. He wasn't impressed with the outcome and seemed more entertained by the notion that Jake Paul was supposedly outclassing an MMA legend like Silva in a boxing ring. Stevenson wasn't buying into the hype around Paul's boxing abilities and didn't hesitate to call out the absurdity of the fight, leaving fans questioning the legitimacy of Paul's success. On a more serious note, Stevenson gave credit where it was due, praising Le'Veon Bell after his knockout win over Adrian Peterson. Bell, the former NFL star, stepped into the boxing world and delivered an impressive, clean knockout, something Stevenson openly acknowledged and respected.
I think it's really not affecting the real fighters. People like me, I don't really get into it too much. I like Jake Paul. I think he's been doing his thing. But truth be told, I really care so about the real boxing at the end of the day.
Harry Spears emphasized that while Mike Tyson may be 58 years old, Jake Paul's youth and confidence are misplaced. Spears argued that being younger doesn't mean Paul can handle Tyson, who still possesses the raw power and instincts that made him a boxing legend. Despite Tyson's age, Spears cautioned that he's not an opponent Paul should take lightly, especially given the enormous gap in experience between the two.
Mike got 30-something years of experience.
True.
He's still got power. Even though he's 58, he's still fucking fast.
Spears believes Jake Paul's confidence stems from facing opponents with limited experience rather than real competition. He'd argued that Mike Tyson's skill and strength, even at 58, would be far beyond what Paul could handle. According to Spears, Paul's bravado and desire to fight Tyson are misguided. It's not just about age, but the exceptional level of skill Tyson still commands.
He's got young man strength.
Yes.
And he seems like he knows how to work the mitts based on, his time in.
Yeah.
But Mike is a different breed, man.
Yes, but it's not.
Chael Sonnen recently shared his thoughts on a potential fight between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, and he didn't hold back. Sonnen acknowledged that while Jake Paul has made a name for himself in the boxing world, facing Mike Tyson would be a huge mistake. Despite Tyson being 58 years old, Sonnen emphasized that his experience, power, and skill would still be far too much for someone like Paul to handle.
Jake Paul is awesome. Jake Paul is a threat. I cannot fully dismiss the idea that he was a Disney character or that he knocked out an NBA player and he's calling out a YouTube star in KSI. While all of those things...
Sonnen emphasized that Mike Tyson's boxing IQ and ferocity in the ring remain intact, even if his physical condition isn't what it once was. He pointed out that Jake Paul's confidence stems from fighting opponents with little to no boxing experience, but stepping into the ring with someone like Tyson, who has competed at the highest levels of combat, would be a completely different challenge. Sonnen made it clear that Tyson's ability to inflict damage, coupled with his legendary reputation, would make it a dangerous and unwise fight for Paul. He suggested that Paul might be underestimating just how much Tyson could still bring to the table.
If you try to fight Mike Tyson in boxing ever in your life, you qualify as a badass. There's possibly not another standard. 1 week, the story has changed. In 1 week, this went to Jake Paul falling back to his old habits of wanting to beat up a geriatric and get credit for it. And we let him know if you beat up said geriatric, not only do you not get credit, we're going to be mad at you because we all like Mike Tyson.
To many in the boxing world, Jake Paul's entry into the sport is like someone walking into a symphony concert and trying to conduct with a kazoo. So, what do real boxers think of Jake Paul? In short, they're not impressed. The consensus is that Jake is more of a spectacle than a serious athlete. While Paul has gained fame by cashing in on boxing matches, most professionals see him as a gimmick, using the sport to make money and stay in the spotlight rather than truly mastering it. Boxers are frustrated by his lack of respect for the sport, especially the fact that he jumped straight into high-profile fights without paying his dues. Veterans who have spent years in the gym, grinding through amateur bouts, don't appreciate someone thinking they can just waltz in and challenge seasoned fighters. Legends like Floyd Mayweather have criticized Jake for using boxing as a publicity stunt. It's not that Jake can't throw a punch, but his approach, using boxing to build his brand without truly understanding the sacrifices and dedication required, rubs many the wrong way. For these fighters, boxing is about years of hard work, not selling pay-per-views or creating viral moments. Jake's rise to fame feels disrespectful to those who have earned their place in the ring. So, what do you think? Is Jake Paul just a flashy outsider taking advantage of the boxing world, or is he proving that anyone can rise to the top with enough hustle and hype? Real boxers clearly aren't buying it, but maybe you have a different perspective. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Does Jake deserve a shot at the big leagues, or is the sport better off without him?